This radio newswire broadcast in the afternoon of July 8th, 1947, by the Associated Press, reads the announcement written by Roswell Army Airfield Lieutenant Walter Haut and authorized by its colonel, William Blanchart, the commander of the only nuclear squadron in the U.S. Armed Forces, the 509th Bomber Squadron out of Roswell, New Mexico. This reading could only have happened that afternoon, because it follows the announcement made shortly after noon, but before General Roger Ramey held the infamous press conference featuring Jesse Marcel posing with the debris of a weather balloon that was chosen as a cover story, as written in Ramey's memo that he is actually holding in his hand while conducting the cover story press conference. What's interesting about this radio announcement is that the Chicago field reporter that adds color to the announcement has already talked to Roger Ramey in the midst of the general formulating his cover-up, and probably after he wrote his memo, but before the weather balloon press conference. It quotes Ramey describing the aluminum-like construct of the UFO as flimsy and not airworthy, whereas we know since, through interviews with Jesse Marcel, that it was thick, kept its form perfectly. No matter how you try to cut it, saw it, or bang it, it was indestructible. The result is this strange combo radio announcement, the rarest of hybrids, that could only have existed in that brief window between the honesty of the original announcement and the duplicity of the emerging cover-up. Let's listen to the radio announcement.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs, which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil was the man who discovered the saucer. Colonel William Blanchard of the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looks like. In Fort Worth, Texas, where the object was first sent, Brigadier General Roger Ramey says that it is being shipped by air to the AAF Research Center at Wright Field, Ohio. A few moments ago, I talked to officials at Wright Field, and they declared that they expect the so-called flying saucer to be delivered there, but that it hasn't arrived as yet. In the meantime, General Ramey describes the object as being of flimsy construction, almost like a box type. He says that it was so battered that he was unable to determine whether it had a disc form, and he does not indicate its size. Ramey says that so far as can be determined, no one saw the object in the air, and he describes it as being made of some sort of tinfoil. Other Army officials say that further information indicates that the object had a diameter of about 20 to 25 feet, and that nothing in the apparent construction indicated any capacity for speed, and that there was no evidence of a power plant. The disc also appeared too flimsy to carry a man. Now, back to Taylor Grant in New York.